Hi, this is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. I'm here with CEO Mike Gunning of VR Resources. We're here at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver, Canada. Mike, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, just great time to catch up. You know, you're a recommended company in my newsletters. So let's catch up. Recently, well, let's first talk about the market because I think that's a topic that we have to address. The market just doesn't seem to care right now. Most investors are not looking our way. The cannabis space, the cryptos, whatever, have taken a lot of our fanfare.
People are making money over there. Why should I look at you?
Right, and you know, other than some of the discovery news we've had this year, I think a lot of us were hoping that the big discoveries could lead the market.
Yeah.
And unfortunately by this fall, we have to say that didn't happen, although the discoveries are interesting, they're fun. Yeah. We're making some money.
Yeah.
So that's good. But the general market is just sliding away from us. And
it is, and I think, so if you're in my position in the market, it reminds you that to be successful in this type of market, you know that phrase, firing on all cylinders?
Yeah.
So in our business, it's about people, properties, and money, parts per million.
Right.
So let's say you have a great discovery, but the location's not the greatest.
Right.
Or you have a great discovery, but the money, people don't feel you have the money.
Right.
Or you make it a great discovery and nobody knows the people.
Right.
Then it's not going to work. You need a real discovery in a real jurisdiction where mining companies are actually making money. And you need to connect on all of those fronts. So my segue to this, for VR's case, copper has come off from 320 to 250.
Commodity prices are going lower.
You're in a tough, cynical market. Mike, why are you still doing this?
Yeah.
Because I actually believe, and we achieved it in uranium, you have the chance for the potential to make a copper-silver discovery in a jurisdiction like Nevada.
Yeah.
With Barrick and Newmont down the road, in a jurisdiction that's been mining silver for 140 years. You know, the old Comstock camp that's the origin of the San Francisco stock market.
Right.
The Junction property is 5 minutes from the highway. VR has got a track record of people that know exploration and do exploration. I do think that if we can make a discovery on a property like Bonita or Junction, you have all of the attributes where you could go to the market and say, this is real.
Right.
And I do think, Greg, that the market will respond, but you need everything in line. And you need to be investing in companies that don't just have one of those 3 or 4 things.
Right.
They need to have all of them.
That's an excellent point, yeah. So, you know, what I'm saying to my people is that, you know, we want to look for companies like VR who are trading on the cheap, who are going to be generating news through the end of the year. And you're in that boat, as far as I'm concerned. You recently drilled Bonita Springs. It was a first pass drill program. Very, very large targets, 2 drill holes in each target. We nipped some mineralization that's very interesting, you know. The odds, had we hit what we were looking for right out of the get-go, probably the odds were against us. Maybe would have been a little, Lady Luck would have had to been with this. But we did hit that mineralization where I think it gives us some information that we can use to maybe vector in a different angle, different way.
If it was easy,
none
of us would be working because it all would have been found. And we're all human. We like the discovery on the first hole in the first program.
Of course,
Bonita is young.
Yeah, and we got a lot of drill holes going to happen.
Here's the conclusion from that drill program. Bonita is a real early Jurassic porphyry copper alkaline system. We have yet to see an unaltered rock in drill core. And we have more conviction. And here's one reason I can show you, Greg. We haven't put this in a news release because it's not material, but we have been staking more ground at Bonita this fall. We are on the ground. We have found more examples of copper mineralization at surface, south and east of where we were drilling this summer. So market aside and the discovery intersection aside, our conviction on the fact that Bonita is real and has that potential that you're talking about to turn the copper industry sort of upside down with a system of that size that really has the potential to be a camp. That drill program has increased our conviction on that potential. And we need to keep drilling. You're probably going to need to do 20 or 30 drill holes.
Absolutely.
3 or 4 programs to test 4 to 6 targets.
Yeah.
And yes, we'd like the discovery intersection under our belt, but it's going to take that amount of patience and conviction.
Yeah, I totally believe that, and I had no problem. I knew we were doing a first pass, and having been out there with you, I can just say that I'm very excited about what could happen there.
And so all I can tell you is that we're demonstrating that conviction by the mapping, the sampling, the new occurrences, the additional claims that we have now, and we just have to strategize Bonita through this cycle.
Perfect. No, that's what we want to hear.
And of course, as you know, the balance in exploration is that Bonita is about size,
Yep.
Junction's about grade,
Yep.
and we have also spent 3 to 4 months on the ground, more or less continuously, at Junction, doing geophysics, doing more mapping. We have just completed a very sophisticated EM survey. We don't talk about Junction that much during the summer because we're drilling Bonita.
Right. We've got to focus on that one first. That was priority 1.
Right.
Now we're at priority 2.
Right.
And drilling is going to begin when?
My guidance has been in October,
Yeah.
and I still feel that mid-late October is when that drilling will happen.
Okay. We have no problems with weather there, as I remember.
We don't have problems with weather. You're literally 5 minutes from the highway. We're not at elevation. We're not in
Right.
the mountains.
Plenty of water.
Water's not an issue. We're not in sage-grouse country.
Right.
We have the permit from the BLM process has started. It normally takes 2 to 3 weeks. We've spoken to the drill companies. We know who we want to use. Mostly, Greg, what we're doing is waiting for the final process inversions from this very sophisticated EM, which will map magnetics, resistivity, and conductivity. VR is not going into Nevada doing something that was done 40 years ago. We take new tools in, we take technology in, and we try and do something new. We think we understand the copper-silver mineralization now
Yeah.
better than we did 4 months ago.
Yeah, and so this is a trend for those viewers who don't yet know VR. Let's give some background. This is a 6-kilometer trend of
Right.
high-grade gold, copper, silver that outcrops at the surface, right?
It does.
And it's never been explored.
Right. These dikes and veins stick out of the ground.
Yeah.
So what you have 3 options. Find a dike that's really wide, find a swarm of narrow dikes that over 150 meters would be like the Yarrington deposit, which is a
Right.
dike swarm. Or number 3, Greg, is take these dikes plunging into the ground and find the source of those dikes,
Right.
like a stock, which is volumetrically larger.
Right.
And what we're doing literally last week and this week and the next week
Yeah.
is using some really smart geophysics to prioritize those 3 scenarios for what would make the Junction drill program really exciting.
And most effective, because along
Right.
6 kilometers, we have to find the most economic sections of it. So,
So you look at a deposit like Minto, it's hundreds of meters, perhaps a couple kilometers. So you're right, over 6 kilometers.
a lot of places to look.
Yes. And so you need to be smart.
Yeah, and you guys have done all your
Yeah.
boots on the ground work,
Yeah.
all the technology, and now you're going to have the best targets to
Right.
drill for a first pass drill program.
Late October, early November, takes a while to get results back. The scenario would be either to get the results of that drilling back to the market either before the Christmas holiday season or when people are back in early January. In
Yeah.
other words, the results come back through December.
So we're not going to suffer as much, I think, through the tax law selling at the general market
No.
with people who are not making news. You are going to have news. You have
Yes.
a drill program that's
Yeah.
very exciting, and I think you'll move up. Yeah.
What you need to succeed right now is to maintain a balance of conviction on upside with rigor.
Yeah.
And that's what VR is going to do.
Yeah, and I think in addition with, all the contrarian indicators are screaming at me that gold and commodities are going higher. So,
Greg, we are electrifying this planet,
yeah,
and it's not going to stop.
no,
We need copper.
that's it.
That's it.
Mike, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Glad you could be here.
Thanks.